What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, Baker the Gym Reaper. I'm here today at transformnow in Birmingham to do quite an interesting little test. We're looking at what pre-workout does to the heart, both on an ECG and on an echo. I'm going to pass you on to Dr. Khan now, who I'm with, to talk about himself and reason why I think he's the man to do this test with me.
Right, so my name's Imran, and I'm a sports physiologist. So what we're basically looking at is the effect of stimulants on the heart. So we'll be doing an ECG first at the standard, resting to see what the readings are, then on with some simple black coffee, and then with a pre-workout. There'll be a rest period in between. We've got three people. One chap who's 193 kg. We have young Daniel, who's a beast at 70 kg, right. And we have Clint, who's 48 at 120 kg. So we've got three different age groups. We've got three body structures. And then we'll be seeing, but they'll all be given the same dose. Then they'll be given
three different fitness levels as well, definitely.
Well, I mean, we've got somebody like yourself who's exceptionally, top level world.
Yeah, but we're talking. That's just bench press. If you ask me to run, up some stairs, it ain't really
run up some stairs. Just one have a hard stand. Then we've got Clint for his age group, elite lifter as well.
Yeah.
And then we've got Daniel for his age and his body weight, very, very good figures as well. Obviously, I would beat everybody's, but I can't therefore do it because it would be totally unfair and I would cheat, right? So we can't do that. So what's going to happen, we're going to get three basic figures. Now, we have in theory what might happen. So for example, just to explain it, because of the bigger size, maybe nothing happens. The smaller size, maybe nothing happens for anybody. It is dose dependent. So it's just the first time which I've ever seen any figure or anybody doing this live. We've also spoken to a cardiologist, a consultant cardiologist. We've got the approval from there, which we've backed up from there, and then we'll go from there.
We're going to start with Daniel. We're going to do an echo on his heart first. Anita, can you talk to us about what an echo is?
Yeah, so my name's Anita. I'm an advanced specialist cardiac physiologist, and as you can see, this is my ultrasound machine here. We'll be doing an echocardiogram, which is just a 2D scan of a 3D structure. We're just taking pictures using jelly and a probe from different angles to build up that 3D structure. We're checking the contractility of the heart, so as it contracts and relaxes, we're looking how the valves open and close, and we're looking to see if there's any leaks or any other structural abnormalities.
So obviously the reason that this interests me is because I know myself from a young age, and a lot of people use a lot of pre-workout. Some people double scoop, triple scoop. There has been instances where people have died overdosed on pre-workout. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how three different body types and sizes at different ages handle the caffeine and the different stimulants and the way we react to them. So let's start with Daniel, we'll go from there.
That's good. We're going to take some images of his heart to look at the structure and function to make sure that we're safe to continue with the study today. Take a small breath in for me and out, and hold your breath out. Okay, roll towards me a little bit, stop there, hold that there, perfect, and breathe normally. There you go. Take a small breath in again, lovely. Okay, line your back for me please. And just a bit of pressure there. And take a small breath in. Perfect. Okay. And just lift your chin up for me. That's fine. Okay. All good to go? Alright, there we go. Lovely.
No, we've got some wipes. We've got some wipes somewhere. So Clint is 48, 120 kg. We've just done his blood pressure. We're just going to do the echo now before we start, because he's got a history of pericarditis as well. So before we approve him for this highly scientific experiment, he's going to have an echo to check what he's like. Clint, lie down, sir.
And out. So here we can see the left ventricle. These are the walls of the left ventricle. This is a bit of the right ventricle there. This is the aortic valve, mitral valve. This is a bit of the left atrium, and this is the aorta there. So the oxygenated blood comes in here through the left atrium, through to the left ventricle, out through the aortic valve, and out through the aorta to the rest of the body.
Echoes have been done, they're all satisfactory, so we'll now give them coffee and then pre-workout. Before that, we'll just take their blood pressure, so we can do that bit before and after as well.
Everybody's heart is structurally normal, so they're safe to carry on with the test. They've all consented.
Right, so we now
Fun now.
we have the monster,
That's right.
70 kg beast.
It's hilarious because I'm actually massive for me right now.
Yeah.
Right, so my ECG pre anything is done. So I'm now getting my little coffee. I'm quite excited actually. Oh, it smells good as well.
It's a good
It's not
start.
bad. It's kind of vanilla actually.
It's sort of a combination of
Is it?
collage flavours.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's alright.
We've basically got here, we've got the 3 ECGs which we'll discuss later on. Everybody's fine. Now they're all having a espresso, just one espresso, smoked Italian flavour, caramel, the dash of caramel. Okay, and then after 10 minutes, after that we've got the times, the ECGs will be done again. Now it may be a shorter period, maybe we need a longer period, but we're just going to see what happens, and then we're going to basically wait another 5 minutes, redo it again, and then they'll be given some pre-workout, and it'll be done again just to see. Now, ideally, again, if you were going to a setting, we would have the same time today. We would do the coffee today. Tomorrow we would do the pre-workout, and every day we'd up the dose. But this is just as an introduction. So before anybody starts trying to get too smart, it's just for the sake of just to see really what happens.
I mean, do you take pre-workout regularly?
I don't know. It normally makes me itch.
When was the last time you took pre-workout?
About January.
Well, it's just a few months then.
Yeah.
What about you, Clint?
Last night for the first time.
Last night for the first time you took pre-workout?
Yeah, never slept.
Wow. Okay, so that, I mean, it's already some good results. So me, I suppose, because I suppose it matters in the video, because it could matter on how it affects me. I take pre-workout probably 2 to 3 times a week, and on top of that, I also drink pre-workout cans as well at home, and and I'll just use them as an energy drink during the day. So I'd be interested. I might have a very good tolerance to this. It may be that this does nothing at all to me. I'm excited to find out though.
It's been 10 minutes since that a espresso. So now what we're doing, we're just going to do another ECG to see if there's any difference between the first one and the second one. Everybody's had a coffee, and they had so as we did earlier on, everybody had an ECG prior to having a coffee, which is one espresso, and we've got everybody's medical histories, all the echoes were clear. So Daniel doesn't really take pre-workouts. So what we've got is with Josh and Clint, heart rate is exactly the same, ECGs are identical. With Daniel, we've had a slight arrhythmia and we've had a slight difference in heart rate, the speed from the first ECG. Now, when we compare this to the third one now, which will be after the pre-workout, we'll see if that continues on being elevated. We'll see if it drops down. So we're going to wait 20 minutes and then take the pre-workout. After 20 minutes, we'll then do another one, and we'll see if there's a difference between the second and the third one. With the 2 bigger guys, we'll also see if there's a difference and what the variance is and how much difference there is. There may be nothing, there may be something. So originally, as we sort of possibly, postulated that maybe this is going to be weight related and dose related, then we'll just basically go from there. So one will now have the pre-workout, and we'll just go to see what happens from there. So in arrhythmia, if you want to explain it, Adnan, in more detail.
Arrhythmia basically
And
just
what the danger, because Adnan is a paramedic, he's called out on jobs all the time. So what the danger of an arrhythmia is.
so arrhythmia basically it can means that the heart rate basically has either sped up, slow down, a different change in the rhythm of the beat. So that's what's happened with Dan right now after he's had his coffee.
Yeah.
So arrhythmia can be dangerous if it's totally irregular, very erratic. It can cause dangerous changes to your heart, can lead to heart attacks, all sorts of blockages and all sorts of damages to your heart.
So when you got to remember here, so if somebody was not taking any pre-workout, just a normal person that has some arrhythmia, it should be investigated. Obviously, this arrhythmia has been induced. So if you like, it's been induced by having coffee and doing it immediately afterwards, which you wouldn't normally do. This is why when you go to a doctor, they'll always ask you, have you taken a coffee? Have you taken any stimulants? Have you taken any cocaine? Have you been on a party? What have you been doing? Because that's how you get like a false reading.
We are going to use a pre-workout with around 250 milligrams of caffeine per serving. We're all going to do the same level of serving and go from there. Now it's already been about 20 minutes, 15 minutes for me since the coffee. I'll take my pre-workout. I'll do my ECG after coffee about 10 minutes ago. So I should be good for an ECG in about 10 minutes time, probably 10, 15. Now, like I said, I'll be intrigued to see how it affects me because I personally take pre-workout all the time. I also drink pre-workout drinks at home, cans, you name it, on the move. And I'm not someone that shies away from coffee. I love coffee too. You know, if I go out anywhere, I like to get a Costa, Starbucks. I drink a lot of coffee at home. And I'm not somebody that runs away from sugar. I mean, look at me. So, I don't think this is going to affect me that much. I really don't.
Now we've had all 3 ECGs in. I'd run through all of them. So like I said, we originally did the echo to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
Then we did a normal ECG, and then we had some coffee, then another ECG, then a break of 20 minutes, and then some pre-workout, then 20 minutes again, and then another ECG. So just to go with the big man here next to me, his ECGs are pretty much identical. Okay, except for a slightly elevated heart rate, just by 2 beats, nothing significant.
And is that from the first one?
Yeah, so the very first one, it was the heart rate. It was 78, and then from there it went to 82, and then it's now gone to 85.
Okay.
Okay, so everything is the same. There's nothing
Yeah.
to worry about there. It's completely normal. So it really hasn't affected him that much. Now, you could argue if we waited another hour or we looked at exercise, there's different parameters we could do to an experiment, pre-exercise, post-exercise, 1 hour after exercise, different things you could do. I mean, it's endless, we could do it. So this is just at a very loose, as an example, to show that there has been a slight thing. Clint again, remember he's 120 kg, so Clint had a increase in his heart rate by 10 and a very, very slight, what we call sinus tachycardia, which is essentially a faster than normal heart rate. You can also call that, they call it ectopic beat sometimes, which is a change in the heart rate induced by caffeine. Very, very slight, but a little bit higher than the big man here. So if he was to have an intensive workout, that would then raise a lot higher. Okay? Now, young Daniel, again, lowest body weight and someone who doesn't really take much pre-workouts. So the first ECG was completely normal. The second one, we've had quite a jump with the caffeine in the heart rate, and with the pre-workout, a considerable jump. So this ties in with the hypothesis in the sense that he's been elevated considerably. Body weight is a lot lower. Now, none of this is critical or dangerous because it's what we would call an ectopic beat, which is essentially an intervention of anything has raised that heart rate. And remember, this is with pre-workout. If a normal person was to have this for no reason whatsoever, it should be investigated. They should go to their GP or a cardiologist and have that looked at. This has obviously been caused by the caffeine and the pre-workout. And before anyone does that, they should take medical advice. You shouldn't just go start popping themselves. If they're not feeling well, feeling dizzy, headaches, go see a doctor.
I suppose be informed is the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody is different. Like we said, like Daniel and the way his heart's reacted is completely different to the way I've reacted.
Yeah.
I'm a very big guy, so we might think that actually I'd have maybe a more severe reaction or something else, but actually there's barely any change at all to my heart from
It's
the
not,
coffee.
it's not a significant change.
Yeah.
Now, for example, if you wanted to do a more accurate test, which we can do, next time what we'll do is we'll do the ECGs and we'll do the monitoring before the exercise and after you're benching, even during, so
Yeah.
we can then make a picture of how your heart rate is fluctuating.
Yeah.
And if it's reaching a critical level, again, you've got a big, a lot of body mass, and the intensity for you relatively may be less than a smaller guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've seen the weight differences here. Your body weight is the highest. You're also used to taking them, and therefore it's had a less of an effect on you.
Yeah.
Whereas with Daniel and Clint, it has an effect on them.
Yeah.
So these are the things you have to look at. If you ever get doing training where you've took a pre-workout, any chest pain, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, sweating, go to the doctor, call the ambulance. Don't be a hero. Fucking call the ambulance. Let them deal with it. Certainly not take more pre-workout afterwards.
But would you say would you recommend an age to be a pre-workout, or do you think it's just a trial by trial?
Again, I mean, there's such a variety of pre-workout, and the doses vary tremendously.
Yeah.
So I think 18, I don't think kids should be taking them 18 plus. In the old school way, people just take a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'm so old that it'd be a can of Pepsi, and they used to put Nescafe into it, and that's what people used to do. Then there used to be something Red Kick. There used to be There used to be Ultimate Orange. There are all these various ones around. It's essentially the caffeine. Some pre-workouts are extremely high in caffeine. Okay, some pre-workouts are just crap. They're just useless, and they do have a placebo effect. There was a study done at Loughborough of pre-workout v placebo. Is an exact 50-50.
Yeah.
There was no positive correlation either way.
Yeah.
People, they believe this work and they perform better.
Right. Yeah.
And that's another aspect as well. But more on the safety thing, if you're having chest pains, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, stop it and call an ambulance.
Okay.
Better be safe than sorry.
I think we'll close it out there, guys. So get yourself onto transformnow on Instagram. Check out .com. If you are someone that is middle-aged, if you're someone in your 30s, if you're someone that's thinking about testosterone levels, because it's the massive word at the minute, isn't it? Testosterone.
Yeah.
Is my testosterone too low? Why am I performing? Why am I tired? Why do I feel this way? A lot of the time it's because your testosterone levels are starting to drop. Doc specialises in blood testing around testosterone and things like that.
Also, sometimes it's not actually testosterone. It's just a bad diet, lifestyle changes. And one thing, which is for a different topic, is the expectation. There's so much stuff on the media, there's so much, everyone talking about testosterone. This massive expectation has been set up now. There's actually nothing wrong with them. They seem to train a bit better and eat a bit better.
Yeah.
So we've got to always, this thing about 1 in 4 men is low in testosterone is actually bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not that case at all.
Yeah.
That's just a marketing myth. So just bear that in mind. Stay healthy, stay happy, and go break a world record.
Thank you. If you're someone that takes your health seriously, transform now on Instagram.
And I'm taller than him, not bigger than him, but I'm definitely taller than him. Daniel, come in last shot. Thank you very much for Daniel for risking your heart.
Yeah, man. At least you haven't dropped dead or anything. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
So thank you very much, and it's a useful thing. It's the first time it's been done. We'll do it properly as a published paper next time in the gym, before the lift, after the gym, with all the details. And we'll also do a 24-hour test, a complete one done, and we'll get that published as well.
Sweet as.
Okay.
It's cool how they can both just look straight over me.
Also, real quick, before we close, if you guys want to see another video with Dr. Khan discussing peptides and going into some detail on peptide usage and around peptides and different effects of them, drop a comment, because it's a very interesting topic and this man knows a lot. So drop a comment if you want to know more.